Can I have everyone's attention, please? I think you all know why we're here underground. And I just want to have a discussion with you all. Bear with me, guys, so I can see what's going on in Miles's life. And that he's been struggling with helping Jameson and Nicholas. I came here to pray for him and to be here for him. God is not putting us on this earth to be miserable and angry all the time, which is why we need help. Not from the sun or aliens or Disney crap. And quite frankly, whatever you're seeing in your head isn't real. It's only an illusion to try to confuse you. I know some of you can still see that, and whatever issues you have, something important to discuss. Talk to God and Jesus right away. If there's anyone who wants to go first, please say something or tell me your name so I know who you are. If you have something to share, I'll listen.
Hey everyone, it's Beast Boy, and I just came here to part the conversation, and we need help, and we'll just have a little bit of funny here and there, and pray for us to what's going on in our lives. That is. Hey everyone, it's me, okay. Here was this way, this also, it's important. It's very, very, it's very, 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 it's very, very, very important.
Thank you, Beast Boy and Kai. I was working at the Biddeford Market Basket, and there were times when I was struggling with bagging groceries and just being up front, ripping each other's heads off. So, like me and Natasha, and sometimes she'll talk about how her belly is gross, and sometimes we'll get into fights and arguments. I think sometimes we get into fights, and sometimes she'll tell me that she doesn't love me, and I think that's just us getting into fights. Sometimes it's like the girls will block me when I'm talking on live, and sometimes I don't think we mean to fight each other. I think that's just us ripping each other's heads off.
Yeah, and sometimes me and Miles will get into fights, and sometimes I want to tell him how I feel, and because he reminds me of Batman, and I care about Miles because I love him. And if we could pick a date to patrol Gotham City, he'll do it as Batman and I'll do it as Catwoman. And I think he wants to be attached to me forever. Or we can just go to Burger King or see him at his house.
Don't forget about me. I am his grandfather, Papa, and I think he needs a girlfriend. You want to know what makes sense about being in a relationship with you, Natasha? Well, sometimes I guess the important things go unsaid. With great power must also come great responsibility.
And I am Mem, Miles' grandmother. We often make jokes together, say things like, "Hey Dee, let's go," or "Hey Mem, wake up," or "Hey, want to make some eggies?"
You are a good grandmother, and between you and me, believing in God and Jesus, and between us fighting the xenomorphs and aliens, we make a confident team together, Diane.
Thank you, Sigourney Weaver. Miles is a big fan of your movies, particularly the Alien series. He thoroughly enjoys them.
I'm glad Miles enjoys my alien movies. I'll have to introduce him to Bishop and Dwayne Hicks and soldiers.
So you must be Jamie Laird, Miles's father. My name is Zoe Kravitz, and I'm sure you love him, Jamie. Jamie, everybody loves Miles, and I love him too.
Yeah, I know who you are, Zoe. The kids have been out of school last week, and so has Jameson and Nicholas. Mom had to quit her job because it wasn't helping her mental health, and I'm really hoping Miles saves his money to go to New England for his trip. I'm just concerned, and I'm going to pray for him. And if Miles wants to go on a trip to New England, all of the money he wants to spend has to be put on hold. Miles is a fighter, and Miles will always be my son.
Well, thank you, Jamie, for sharing. Well, I'm not too familiar with Elmoware in Mortal Kombat, or being part of the Justice League, or fighting xenomorphs or predators.
I may not be from Haverhill St. James, but I am Miles's friend Todd McFarlane. Well, between Miles having the Omnitrix and being Ben 10 aliens like XLR8 and Water Hazard and Big Chill, and being different superheroes like the Green Arrow and the Flash and Spider-Man and RoboCop and the Arkham Knight and Batman from Gods and Monsters, and Nightmare Batman from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, and Ghostface. And if he gets tired of reading Dr. Seuss's books, he can always read comic books like Spawn. And so, like, if Miles misses Aunt Kristen and Mem and Dad and Kelly and Colby and Uncle Jared and Gray and Heidi, and even though we have these fights, we're still a family, and Miles is not going to give up, and neither am I. And so, like, if you're an anime fan and you like watching Vampire Hunter Bloodlust or The Animatrix, or maybe watch Samurai Jack, something in your life will actually give you an ability to be a smart person, because you are the fighter of your family to do what's right.
Sometimes it's inconsiderate to keep the kids out of school all the time. The teachers think they're so smart, don't they? It's no coincidence that teachers can be selfish sometimes. I think they really need to fix it.
I think what can be the solution is to focus on God and Jesus to ask them for help, and not by listening to 50s music or watching Popeye. I think what really helps is that it's good to keep a balance for yourself and maintain your healing. You can always rely on that. So tell me, Sam Wise, or should I say Sean Astin, do you like going to McDonald's or like watching Star Wars or maybe like getting Legos and like have you ever watched Terminator or like RoboCop before? And do you like being funny in public and trying to be funny?
Well, Gumby, I never watched James Cameron's The Terminator before, so like my favorite character is Kyle Reese, and I don't mind RoboCop. He's kind of a superhero to me, and of course I like McDonald's, and I guess having a sense of humor helps me lighten up the mood, so yeah. I guess I can joke about Kanye West being attacked by Nerf guns, and I'll be Raphael, Beast Boy, Kai, and Green Arrow, and they'll like give me a hand. So, listening to Charlie XCX, or Teddy Swims, or even Lenny Kravitz is kind of like listening to depressing music. And even though Grandpa Marty and Grandma Margie get mad at Miles sometimes, I don't know who they think they are. I would just put a whoopee cushion under their chair, or wake them up with the Roxanne song by the Police. So those are my jokes.
Me. Well, me and the other Power Rangers are working on a case to go back to Haverhill St. James and being part of the Elmoware again. The story of the White Ranger is a classic tale of redemption, heroism, and self-discovery. The White Ranger was once a powerful villain who was recruited by an evil organization to help them achieve their sinister goals. However, as he went on missions for them, he began to question his own morality and the righteousness of the organization's actions. Eventually, he found the courage to break free from their control and join the Power Rangers to fight for justice and righteousness. His decision was not an easy one, but it was the morally right thing to do.
Well, I'm glad you guys are going back to St. James. So did you guys lose track of the Elmoware in 2011 and decided to be a follower in 2017 and to lose who you are?
Yeah, we did.
This is a big problem. Without a continuation and too much thinking, it only gets you into trouble. Stop doing that. This is why I want you guys to start being leaders, not followers. The reason I'm telling that is because it is important. Don't be like Mickey Mouse. Be like the Bugs Bunny. If you have any issues, I will find out about it. This isn't right. Like you guys can't be living in the past of 2011 forever. Like I have a problem with it, and I don't get the feeling that's normal. And you're not going to be living in South Carolina forever. And it's not a library in New England, it's Miles' home. And stupidity, some people enjoy the stupidity and think there's nothing wrong with it. Oh, what's wrong with it? Would you live like that? You know, it doesn't bother if some people keep doing it. What bothers me if they let Miles keep doing it? And I'm not going to let that keep happening.
It's my pleasure to meet you, Miles. Could you please tell me what your English level is and how long have you been studying? My name is Kelly Hu, and I played in Afro Samurai. It was kind of an interesting series, kind of bloody and kind of violent and inappropriate at the same time. So it's kind of my favorite, so I enjoy it. So tell me, Bridget, when can we go out to get our nails done or like going shopping at the Rockingham Mall in Salem, New Hampshire?
Well, I'm cute and cuddly, and especially for Miles. I mean, it's not like I'm his mother, but I do love Miles like a lot. And because I'm beautiful too. I'm not really a Disney fan. I'm more of a Mario and Sonic fan. And if I had a favorite character, it would be Princess Peach and Amy Rose. It gives me the confidence to be part of a team, and with you guys.
Arukia Kuchiki. There's something I've been wanting to tell you, and I want you to feel good about it too. And if you like, we can go on a date together to Applebee's.
That's so sweet of you, Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd be happy to go on a date with you to Applebee's. I've never really eaten there before, so what is it that you wanted to tell me?
I love you, Rukia Kuchiki.
I love you too, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, this has been a long meeting, and it took us 2 days to get this video done, and it should have taken 1 night to get it done, so yeah.
Well, me and Terminator go way back, fighting the T-1000 and my mom giving us a hand. And more Terminators and Xenomorphs are coming along the way, but I believe there are some people who can help us, like Batman, Beast Boy, Kai, Captain Rex, and the Clone Troopers.
Well, thank you all for coming, and I wouldn't ask you if I didn't want to meet you, and so here we are, and if Miles wants to be homeless, he can easily handle his situation differently rather than running away. But I don't think Miles is a bad person, and neither is Crazy Frog and Jackson. I have faith in them. And they're not going to live in the past of 2011 anymore, and no more running away. How can I deal with it differently? What's going to change? We know we can make a difference in our lives.